All right, let's talk about the engineering interview. Today, we're not just going to give you a few tips, we are literally building your ultimate toolkit so you can walk into any interview and just absolutely own it.
So you're in the hot seat, right? You've got all this knowledge in your head, but how do you actually prove it when the pressure is on? Well, the key isn't just having the right answer. It's having a structured, confident way to deliver that answer.
And that's exactly what we're going to do right now. We're going to build you an unbeatable toolkit, starting with the absolute foundation.
First things first, your technical foundation. These are the non-negotiables, the codes and standards that, trust me, every single hiring manager is listening for.
Okay, so it is not enough to just list these off. You have to know where they fit. You're talking about HVAC? That's ASHRAE. Fire protection systems, it is all about NFPA 13, 14, and 20. Working in the region, you better mention the Saudi building code, the SBC. And of course, API for anything in oil and gas. This shows you know exactly which rulebook to grab for any given problem.
And here's a pro move. Drop the term safety factor. It shows you're not just a calculator. You're thinking about design integrity, about doing things the right way, and most importantly, safely. That's the whole point of all those codes we just talked about, right?
Okay, so knowing the rules is one thing, but how do you show that you can actually play the game from start to finish? Well, that is all about mastering the workflow.
You know, anyone can list off a few steps, but when you walk an interviewer through this 5-step process, from the initial design to the review, the execution on site, all the way through testing and the final handover, you're proving you see the big picture. You're not just a cog in the machine, you know how the whole machine works. And what's the whole point of that entire process? It's all driving toward one single number, 100%, a 100% quality index. When you say that, you're telling them your goal isn't just to get the job done, it's to get it done perfectly. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. These are the 3 core formulas you absolutely, positively have to have locked and loaded in your brain. First up, for anything HVAC related, you got to talk about cooling load. It's simple, really. Q total is just your sensible heat, that's the stuff you can feel, plus the latent heat, which is all about the moisture in the air. Knowing this is it's fundamental. Second, pumps. It doesn't matter if it's for water supply or fire protection, you have to know how to calculate the total head. It's the static height you're pumping against, plus all the friction you lose along the way in the pipes. Get this right, and you prove you can size a pump for any system, period. And third, my personal favorite for its beautiful simplicity, Q equals A times V. The flow rate is just the area of the pipe times how fast the fluid is moving. It's so basic, but it shows you get the fundamental physics of how things really work. Okay, deep breath. You've got the technical knowledge, you understand the workflow, you know the formulas. Now for the most important part. How do you actually say all of this in a way that lands with maximum impact?
Meet your new best friend, the STAR method. This is your secret weapon. It's a super simple framework that helps you turn your experience into a story that actually makes sense. You've got the situation, the task, the action, and the most important one of all, the result. So let's see what this looks like in the real world. We're going to combine everything we just talked about into the perfect answer for pretty much any interview question they can throw at you. Okay, check this out. You start with the situation. A client reported critically low water pressure. Simple. Then the task. My job was to find the cause and fix it. Clear. Now, the action, this is where you bring in your tech skills. I measured the pump, I calculated the H total, see there's our formula, I found too much friction loss and I upsized a pipe. And the punchline, the result, system pressure restored, client complaint closed. Boom.
And this right here is what separates a good answer from a truly great one. Don't just say you fixed it, give them the numbers. We went from 1.2 bar to 3.8 bar. Quantifying your result turns a story into proof. It's hard evidence of your impact.
So there it is, the complete toolkit. You've got your foundation in the codes, you understand the workflow, you've got the key formulas, and now you have a framework to deliver it all with total confidence. The only question left is, what problem are you going to solve first?